What's up, guys, and welcome back. Headers are in. It's time to get this exhaust started. Got our headers in. Gilbert came through, and these worked out perfect. Plenty of clearance, so these are gonna work very, very well. I'll see if I can get a part number from Gilbert, and I'll put it up here in case you guys are looking for some headers that sit really, really tight. These are the ones. And Gilbert's finishing up the brakes. We got those painted last night. They're already dried. We'll put these in, and this bait is gonna look real nice. The radiator should be on the way today, so hopefully we get that dialed in, throw that in there. But as far as wiring, I think I'm good for wires for a while. I don't want to see no dang wires. I want to see cool stuff like headers and exhaust. Just talking about exhaust, it's time to start doing some exhaust work. All this stuff right here is all just extra stuff. I got my neighbor here. He's got a 2004 crew cab. He's kind of going through those parts, see what he needs, and everything else is going in the trash. But I'll show you my little, some people might call it junkyard, some people call it scrap metal, some people call it junk, trash. I call it parts I'll need one day. 5-inch exhaust stacks, duals. Oh yeah, we going wild. We got this thing cleaned up, and myself too. We're looking a little rough here, but man, this thing's coming together. Check it out. So we got our new headers in, got those installed, plenty of clearance now, and those are up for sale. So we're gonna leave this alone for a little bit. because it just kind of gets I don't know, he's stuck in the same spot for too long. You know what I mean. So although this is looking cool, we got the fender wells on now. I'll just let Gilbert do his thing over here, and the radiator should be coming in today. Should have came in yesterday, but did not make it here. So I hopped on getting all this back here cleared up and thrown away. Kind of went through all the stuff that we aren't going to use and we are going to use. And let me show you what kind of exhaust I want to make for this thing. So I purchased 5-inch stacks that are going to go back here. This is an extra one that I got from Gilbert. It's just a used one that he had at his shop, probably an old truck or something that they were either throwing away, or I don't know where you got it from. But I have the exact same setup, brand new, but I don't want to scratch those until we get everything situated. So when I cut off the bumpers yesterday, if you guys remember, this truck had 2 bumpers welded right here in the corners to simulate them being exhaust. But under the bumpers, there was a hole right there, and there's a hole on the other side as well. So I think at one point, this truck actually had 2 exhausts on it. Unless these holes are for, you know, letting the water drain out or something out of the vent, but I think that's for exhaust. So I think somebody already had this truck set up the way that I'm wanting to do it, which is put dual stacks back here. One right here, one right here. So I had this kind of mocked up yesterday. Kind of like this. Now, this one doesn't fit, so I mean, I don't know exactly if this was for this or not. But I think that's exactly what I'm going to use it for. The only thing I don't like is this gap right here. Me personally, I would have, well, I think I am going to put it. I'm going to put it right here. But this is in the way. So I think if they did have exhaust, like right here where this hole is at, they put it right there because of this. And this looks like something was attached to here. Looks like a battery post. Oh, you know what? I think they had power running right here to this switch. And Gilbert brought that light because we didn't have a light. But we're gonna have that light hooked up right there too. So, you know, you pull up to a show, has a little light on. I think I'm gonna put something on the ends. But in order for me to put the exhaust where I want it, I'm gonna have to chop this guy off, at least right here, and save this hole for a mounting. The only thing that I don't like about that is the fact that this is diamond plate, and I'm gonna have to patch it up. So I don't want to. Oh, you know what? It's double-sided right here. Man, what I was gonna say was it's diamond plate, so I'd have to patch it up with another piece of diamond plate, or else you're gonna be able to see that circle like way too noticeable. And I don't want to make it look like there's a circle in front of a different circle, because then it's gonna make it look like I messed up on my measurements or something and I didn't put it in the right spot. But when I put it right here, you know what? It's easy for me to visualize if I'm seeing it. So let's see it. If it doesn't look bad, I would much rather use that hole right there. But I think it's gonna look like it's too far back. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in place. Stand back and look at it. I think I'm gonna kind of 45 them out, I think, or maybe just straight back. We'll do straight back first, take a look at it, and then we'll do a 45. Take a look at it, see which looks better. Oh, this door's heavy. Okay, let's see. You know what? That doesn't even look that bad. Let's see if we go back a little bit. Over here somewhere. Right there's kind of what I would think would be the best spot for this exhaust. A few inches away from the wall. Dang, I just think, I don't know. Why do I feel like I always keep adding more work for myself? See? So if I patch it right here, it's gonna have a 5-inch hole right in front of the exhaust. That's what I don't want. Because you're always gonna get that guy, what happened here? Miss your measurements? No, I did not miss my measurements. That hole's already there. Let me think about this real quick. Well, anyways, so we're gonna go with the dual exhaust setup. So the bed's cleaned up. I think I'm gonna just kind of pressure wash it and get all the dirt and grime out of there, just so it's easier to work. Still kind of dirty. All I did was sweep it up, and we'll chop this guy off because I know I don't need this. With any of the two setups that I end up going with, I don't need this bar. So I'll chop it right here, kind of round this off, and keep this hole because I think I can use that hole for something. If not, then later on we'll just chop the whole thing off. So let me get a canopy over here, protect the neck like Wu-Tang said, and let's get to work. Got the shop vac, got everything cleaned up. I mean, as good as I can for now. It does have this rhino line stuff just caked on, but it looks like it's just in this area. I think if this whole thing was done before, a lot of it just got scraped off because this is like bare metal. This is a little bit of that rhino line stuff. That doesn't look like it has anything on there, so just to wire this little section would be pretty easy later. But now that I got it cleaned up, I seen that there's a plate right here. So let's get a jack set up, and we'll go down there and see what we're working with. If it's too much hassle to move that exhaust back a little bit, then I think we're just gonna run with that hole that it already has. But we'll see. Let me get this set up. Let's go down there and see what we got. So we got our jack for safety first. This is what we got under here. That's the hole that you see up top. And this is the plate that's right there. So it looks like there was also a hole right there. I'm not sure if maybe they had the exhaust right here first and they moved it for some reason. Oh, that's interesting now. So let me see if I can go up there, take this plate off, and see if it's not just easier to fix this hole and run the exhaust right there instead of doing a patch here, and then putting the exhaust right here. Maybe I could just patch this and fix that to work. I think that's gonna be the plan. So let me get the grinder set up and see if we cannot take this plate off right here. And we got washers welded in there. We got all kinds of stuff in here. So yeah, I think that would work. Let's take this plate off. I had to go down and get my power started. It's gonna be a very nice day today. I think weather said 97. Man, I know to a lot of you guys are like, man, 97, that's a lot. But when you've been working, you know, 103, 104, 105, they get you a 97. Psh, oh man, that's beach weather. And then went down to local 7-Eleven. They had the custom Supras in there. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm a huge Hot Wheels collector. And my son always tries to steal my cars. So I always have to buy 2 of everything. One for him, that he's gonna open it right away, and one for me, where I'm gonna put it away. I got this thing jacked up, and let's get this plate off. I got the other side handled. Took this side off. Man, they put a lot of weld on these things. Man, I don't even know what's up with this anyways. What was up with this hole right here? I have a feeling it was a drain. And then, I don't know, somebody decided to, they didn't want that drain there no more or something. Man, let me show you this side. This side's good already. Got this side cleaned up. This side's good. Basically, this is gonna just sit in here. Let's see if I can do it with one hand real quick. So, like that. Just like that. And then, just in case I forgot to mention, I'm not gonna be running a 5-inch exhaust off of that motor. This is just for looks. What my plan is, because I think if I was to run an actual 5-inch exhaust, like I bought this kit off of Marketplace, and it's an actual 5-inch kit, like all the way. It has the pipes that go down, then it has like a Y in the center. You know, it's for a semi or something. And I'm not gonna run this. See, it came with this, and it has like a flex pipe, and you know, I'm not sure what it was for, but I bought it a long time ago because when I saw this truck, I was like, man, this truck, it has to have dual exhaust. You know, it has to have that look that when you're driving behind it, you know, it's gonna have these huge stacks off to the side and just look killer. But I am gonna do a dual exhaust, but it's gonna be a 2.5-inch. I think I'm gonna put mufflers in there because I think just a straight pipe exhaust on a 5.3 might be just a little too loud for driving. But I have some Thrush mufflers. I also have some Speedway Motors mufflers that I've just had laying around. So I'm gonna go 2.5-inch, and then I'm basically gonna have a 2.5-inch exhaust going through the 5-inch pipe about midway up the pipe. So it's gonna echo inside of the tube. Kind of use the tube as maybe like a tip. You know, so don't think of 5-inch exhaust. Think of it as like a 5-inch tip on a 2.5-inch exhaust system. So I'm gonna slide the exhaust through the pipe or through the hole. And I was thinking about just welding it up here to the pipe, but I think what I'm gonna end up doing is welding it from the bottom of the bed so you can't see the welds, so it looks like the exhaust is connected to the truck and coming up through the hole, you know, but it's really actually not. So it's gonna have, let's see if I can kind of eyeball it myself, because I see it in my head. I mean, I'll do a lot of this stuff on the fly. Whatever I think in my head, I just try to do it before I forget. But this is a 2.5-inch exhaust, so this is going to be coming up through, and it'll be in here like this. So then this will have movement, play, or whatever from the motor. It won't hit this, but it'll echo in here. So it should have a really crazy sounding exhaust system because of where the actual pipe is going to sit into the exhaust tip. It's going to go in probably about right here, about 2 feet or so, or a foot maybe, just enough where you'll be able to hear the exhaust coming out of that, tip, but it's gonna be an exhaust going through that, coming out of that. I hope that makes sense. If not, just keep on watching and we'll get there. But I gotta mess with this now. Let me handle this and then we'll get back, and maybe we'll lift up the car on jacks. I think right now, I was looking at the time, it's like 1:30. I started like around 9. I started doing other stuff though. I cut this off, the little piece that was hanging here, cut that off, grinded the top flat, took a bunch of stuff that was up there. Still don't know about these. Maybe we can find something to put here, or maybe just chop it off. For now, I'm keeping this. Not sure what for. Maybe a CB radio type of antenna or something I could think of. If I don't think of nothing, then the guy's gone. But yeah, let me keep going before it gets too late. I want to get as much as I can done today. But I do have a car show tomorrow where I'm sponsoring the car show. It is called Cars and Splash. So it's gonna be like a half car show, half water park type deal. There's gonna be water slides there, water balloons, water fights, water guns / car show. So that's gonna be a cool one. But I need to clean that guy because I'm not gonna take it all junky looking. But I do want to get as much as I can done here. And that show tomorrow, it's not until 11 o'clock, so got plenty of time. I could probably even just watch it tomorrow morning. But we'll keep pushing here. Put the pipe where I wanted it. Do some spray paint around it so I won't lose my marks. And it looks like this one, it took out a lot more than it did on the other side. So we're gonna have to build this little corner right here after it's all said and done. So we'll come around, cut this, and build this little corner, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, got that hole set up, and ran into an issue. You know how that's the story of our lives, right? So this one here, the one I've been using to kind of mock all this up, is one that I got from Gilbert. This was one from some kind of semi truck or something that they have at their job. And the set that I bought, it's actually shorter by a significant amount. So this is sitting on top of the bed. And what I was gonna do was countersink it and then weld it from the bottom. Now I don't think I'm gonna be able to countersink it because it's gonna be too short. And I don't want a little stubby exhaust coming out of here. But look, let me stand back. So it's taller by, I don't know, like 10 inches. So in order for me to get the look that I want, I'm gonna have to just weld it to the bed. I didn't want to weld anything right here. Dang, kind of sucks. And you can see that these are coated up to about right here. This is just bare steel, you know, so these are actually made to slide on these, and then they clamp right there. You know, it's removable, so then they can access or remove the exhaust or something like that. It's some reason it's removable, probably for maintenance purposes. But I didn't notice that these were so short. I just took them out of the package and I was like, man, what the heck, why does it look so little? I mean, it doesn't look bad if I weld it straight to the bed like this. Stand back, you know. Now, obviously it's leaning, but I'm talking about height wise. I can't go any shorter than that, and I don't have two of these. And this was just one that he found that was just in the back for years and years that people forgot was even there. So he was able to get this one, but we don't have another one. I would have wanted this maybe 6 inches higher, or 4 or 5, you know, a little bit taller, but I don't have to. So we're gonna have to go with it right there. Ah, man, that sucks. Let me give them a call, see if we can get another one somewhere back there. If not, I will. Kind of glad this other hole's here, but that's gonna help me fit this up real quick. Let me set this down and show you what we got. Okay. So I got a piece of flat bar. Actually, the piece that was up here that I cut off is now down there using me to fit this up. But I got that piece of flat bar going across the bottom and then clamped to the side. And I got the pipe sitting in place. Man, now I kind of hope, I wish that I would have made these like dead on money so I wouldn't have no gap, but I wasn't trying to do this in the beginning. But I have them both in place right now so you can kind of get an idea, oops, sorry guys, of what it's gonna look like. They're just sitting on there and kind of got a rag on this side kind of holding it level so I can see what it looks like. So I was trying to decide, should I angle it, should I make it perfectly straight back? And when I put it straight back, it does look cool from the back, but I'm not too sure if I like it how it looks right here from the side. I think when I turned it a little bit, it looks a little bit more aggressive from the side because you can kind of see more of the opening. See? And then the sound would be coming out like towards the people as you're driving by, and you still would be able to hear it from back here because most of it is, the sound is coming this way. So I think we're gonna go with the angled, but I mean, this is what we got. I gotta work with what I got. I can't just try to find another pipe. I think that's just gonna take too long. And that doesn't look bad. It's just I wanted to countersink it and make it look like this pipe was actually coming through the floor, you know, without being able to see any of the welds. But I mean, as long as I throw a nice little one right here, you know, a nice one on the side. We're probably gonna rhino line this anyways, so I think I'll probably tape off like an inch and paint it black and paint over those welds and just kind of blend it all in. I think that's what my brain is telling me to do. But look at that rear shot, man. That rear shot's killer right there. I got the little light up there kind of mocked up. Turns out that this stick is the perfect size for the gap, so I'll do this side first. Tack, tack, tack. Try to figure out this little angle right here and match the other side as best as I possibly can. And we'll have some stacks on this thing. Obviously, we still got to run the exhaust, but we have somewhere it's going to run too. And the exhaust is going to run about halfway up the pipe. So it's going to go right through the exhaust, about midway, to make the most echo inside this pipe. If I go up too high, it'd be just shooting straight out of the exhaust. Too low, I think it'd probably get lost down below the bed. So I think as long as I go perfectly halfway through this pipe, this thing is gonna sound crazy. So let me start on that, and we'll have to jack up this. I gotta clean all this up because everything kind of fell through this hole, and I was cutting this, so the bottom's just nasty, and I don't want to lay on that stuff because I already got a bunch of shavings all on my back. I can feel it, and this little heat doesn't feel too good. I need a cold drink. We'll put this thing on jacks, and we'll go down below and see what we need to do to connect those headers to these cool guys. Got them on. Check them out, check them out. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I'm getting too excited. Yeah, those things didn't come out too short. They're cool. Just kind of overthinking it, I think. Just enough angle where you can see them off to the side. So it's pulling up towards you. You'll be able to see it coming. Cool. Well, the little gap I was leaving it on it so it could countersink, and ended up turning into a little bit of a gap. So it looked kind of funky when I had just the tacks on there, because you can see through the hole. But I mean, I just welded it up. I guess I'll just have to paint that black, mask it off a little bit, like right above the weld. I kind of burned the little chrome, paint it black, and we'll call it good. But yeah, that's looking really cool now. Sun's a little bit beaming. Got warm on me a little bit, but we got the stacks up. Let's lift this thing up and see what it's gonna take to connect those headers down. Hopefully, I'm thinking 45 straight, put the muffler in here, and then straight, and then 90 over, and then 90 straight up into it. That's what I'm hoping. But if it was that easy, anybody would do it. The issue I'm seeing is gonna be the frame. Let's see what we got to do to get this thing to work. Okay, we got the truck up on some jacks right there, and there is our exhaust pipe. So first and foremost, we gotta take this guy off. That's the old shift linkage piece for the bottom for the transmission. This goes right in the way, so it looks like I'll be able to do a straight, and then, well, I'm gonna call it a 45, but I don't really know the angle. Come down and then straight up under here, and then that'll go under here, and over here we gotta go up and over the frame, and there's our hole right there. Right there. Okay. Alrighty. We'll get a measuring tape, and we'll start pulling some numbers here. See exactly what we need. And here's the cable to our backup lights right there. I kind of already just got out of the way, putting them in kind of like in the factory locations. And that's just kind of dangling right there, but that'll continue to go all the way back. And I'll just keep putting them on those little hook things right there. And we got a lot of cleaning down here too, man. Dang, I forgot how dirty it was down here. Let me get a measuring tape, and we'll take it one step at a time. Came over here to my little exhaust pile and see what in here I can use. Found this radius right here, so this is gonna be my boom. I gotta keep that 90 up there real tight to go up and over that frame. I don't want to go under, just right above it, and then down, and then shoot, and then up. So a couple 90s. Here's another 90 right here. There's a piece of a 90. This is why they say, Flip, how come you never throw anything away? This is exactly why. Because one day, you're going to need it. Somebody else would have threw this away, but no, not me. Not me. Oh, here's our long run right here. There you go. There's our long run. Oh, damn dog shitted over here. There's another one. Oh yeah, we got the whole exhaust kit in here. I don't even remember what this guy was from, but he's got a nice little 45 right there. So this guy's coming out of the box too. Nice little straight piece. Oh yeah. We got enough to make another truck in here. So I busted out all the pipes that I think might work as far as for pre-bends. And you know, just using the old school TIG wire or TIG rod bend trick. Kind of put it up there where you want it, bend it, and then try to find something that matches. Well, I found this one, and this one is pretty dead on, but I only have one, and the other side needs to be exactly the same. So I had to take off to the muffler shop real quick before they close, and I had to make me this one pretty much replicate that one. And this one needed to be cut, and I had them flare it and then cut and flare it. This is gonna go up into the headers and up into the headers. But man, this muffler stuff got really expensive just because I don't have anything to flare these things with, and doing a little butt weld up there is, you know, just not gonna be fun. And I wanted it just to slip on, you know, easier to kind of maneuver, and it'll kind of hold it in place while I figure out the rest of the stuff. But 2 flares, 2 cuts, 1 bend, and a piece of pipe. It was $50. Man, maybe I'm just getting cheaper, or maybe I just don't like wasting money. But man, $50 for a piece of pipe. Oh well, it is what it is. I got my pipes, and we'll keep going. Let's go down there and see if they fit. Man, that thing fit perfect. We got that slid in there. It clears our bar right here. Just about an inch of clearance, which is more than enough. Our muffler will go right here, and then keep going that way. Let's go get them mufflers out. I think I'm gonna go with the thrust mufflers on this. I think it'll get the best sound, because those up there are turbo mufflers is what they're called, and the turbo mufflers are usually the quieter ones, and these thrust mufflers are more like the old school kind of hot rod type. I actually got them for pretty cheap when Pep Boys was closing down, and I think everything was like 50% off or something, and I was just going crazy because everybody was in there just grabbing everything, and I was like, there's got to be something in here I'll need. Yep, both these mufflers. I think I paid $22 for these, for both of them. This is exactly these are the ones that I got. These are the Thrush welded muffler. So these are the 2-chamber. This is, I mean, I guess if you wanted to be equivalent to something, I've used these before. That's the only reason I can kind of speak about them. I would say they're pretty close to like a Flowmaster 40. Flowmaster 44, Flowmaster 40, somewhere in there. They're not super loud on idle, but if you step on it, they do open up pretty nice. And I mean, look, vintage sound for today's power. What more can you ask for? It's exactly what we need. Throw these in there and see what else we need to keep coming to this, guys. Okay, I think I just about got this thing figured out. Got my son over there practicing some welding, so I need to take a break anyways. So I'm gonna go 90 straight up into that exhaust pipe. I'm gonna end up making some kind of bracket here to hold this pipe from vibration. I got it lifted up about 1 inch, and then this was just a pre-made exhaust tube that I had. I have no idea what bend it is, but it works. So it's gonna come down right here, down, over, and then it's gonna shoot straight into that pipe over there. Right there. So just imagine right here, shoot straight into that pipe. And I got one of my the welding TIG wires, and I bent it right here and shot it that way, and it's dang close to a 90. So it'll be some type of a miter pie cut right here, but I'm not gonna take it to get bent because that $50 little bend right there kind of scared me. So I'm just gonna make my own. This is what I used down there, and this is what came out, and that's a little bit past the 90, but I'm gonna use a short radius 90 because I need to turn like really quick right there, and these long radius 90s are just not gonna work because this one 90s up to here. And what I did over here is I grabbed one of these loops that come inside these kits, and I cut it right in the center. So this little short radius 90, it's gonna help me out down here because I don't have that much room to turn. But this will eventually go somewhere in here once I get everything figured out down here. It'll 90, like right after that bend, it'll 90 and shoot it into that muffler over there. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm a little bit burnt out. That might be for tomorrow. I got a car show tomorrow, so I need to get that green truck cleaned up. I'm just gonna let my son do some practice welding over here. We got a little project that we're gonna. Okay. You did this one right now?
Oh yeah, I did that one. I did that one.
This one's not bad actually right here. That's not bad at all. Just do that 1,000 more times and you got it. We're trying to get a flag pole holder is what we're trying to make today, so we could take it tomorrow. So basically we're just gonna get this pipe right here. We're gonna weld it to a piece of plate and then drill a hole right here, weld a nut, and then stick the flag in here, flag pole, turn a nut, tighten it, and basically this piece of plate, I'm gonna run it over with the tire. So it'll be like that, and I'll run it over with the tire. Flagpole will be right here, up, and then be able to put a flag with our Square Body Builders logo on it, and let them know that we in the building.
2 days later.
Let's turn that off because you won't be able to hear me. But we are tacked up on the driver's side, and it seems like it's gonna work out just fine. Slide this over. Already got some pieces cut for the other side, but I figure I'd let you guys down here and see what we got going on. Now, if you guys have been following along, this weekend was the Cars and Splash car show, and Mr. Miyagi took home a good little award. We got best custom built truck. Got a little cardboard in there, just holding that right in the center of that exhaust pipe, and then that goes like this, and then miter this pipe So go straight into the exhaust, and then 45s up into the header. So I'm gonna try to replicate this on the passenger side. And I just got in the box of hangers, so I gotta clean up some of this junk up here. Put a hanger probably right here to hold the exhaust side, muffler side, and then I'll put another one over here to hold the riser in place. And right here at this union, I'll leave it open, and I'll put an exhaust clamp on here. So then this will be our out. In case you ever want to take it apart, you take the bolts off the header, and you would take this off, and then this pipe would drop, and then this piece would be its own section. I think that'd be the smartest way to do this in case you ever wanted to take it off, or you know, just one way to take your exhaust apart. Put a clamp right here. I think that's the best way. So let me make another one, and I'll come back with you. All right, got them both in here, both mocked up, tacked up. That's going up. Had Giovanni help me do this side. We're a little bit long, but we are straight. So I need to cut this pipe a little bit shorter, bring that in about an inch more. And but here's gonna be our clamp, so this is not gonna be welded. So I'll pull this out, go put it in the back of the truck, weld them up, bring them back, and then these I can weld them in place and weld the two fronts to the little adapters on those headers. Once I get those unbolted, and I'll bring everything back in, and we'll start putting some hangers on it. Alright, got these things welded up. We're gonna let them cool down for a little bit because they're super hot. But we got some hangers. Now, these are not any kind of special hanger, you know, this is just some random Amazon hangers that I think will work. This will probably get welded against the frame, or maybe even against the top of the bed, maybe. We'll see when we get down there. What's the easiest and what's the best way that these should be placed in case we ever need to take the exhaust down, which is very, very unlikely. But I mean, if we can do it, then we'll just go ahead and do it. This is a different style hanger that I used on my green truck. So this kind of goes like this. Obviously the pipe would be in here, and then you have your adjustability on here, and you weld. Well, you're supposed to have the little rubber eyelid right here, but I welded this straight to the frame last time, and it worked out. But we're gonna let this let that cool down a little bit, and let me go get one of my boys who can help me throw this thing down there and hopefully bolt it up and put this thing back on the ground, and we'll call this video a wrap. You can see my son dragging the welding machine out of here. That means we're done. Let me see if I can get a light in here for you guys. Oh, dang, there it is. So 45 down to some thrush mufflers. Came across here. That's welded. This is a clamp. Try to make it a two-piece so it's removable. So it goes 45 straight through the muffler, straight, then a rolled 90 up to a small degree here. It's not quite a 45. Up to a 90, straight up the center. Same thing for this side. Muffler, pipe, clamp, a rolled sharp 90 right here. And I got it clamped with the rubber piece up there. So it does move. There is movement. And then up and straight down the center. That's right. I saw it in my head. Now you see it in person. That could have been rolled a little bit now that I'm looking at it straight in the face. But hey, it's all good in the hood, because the 3 bolts on the header side still turns. So if those were loosened up and these were loosened up, you could turn this, that other ½ inch or so. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Exhaust is on. I don't have a battery yet, and we don't have a fuel cell yet, so we don't know what it sounds like. If you want to know what it sounds like, you're gonna have to. Ooh-wee. That was a little easier to do in my head. You're gonna have to come back as we continue with this, and all these scraps that we didn't use are gonna go right back in the box until next time, because we don't need them. So let me get these cleaned up real quick. It's got a little bit of light, hopefully just enough for us to clean this up and drop it back down and see what this cool guy looks like now. There it is. Ooh, look at that cool thing. Heck yeah. Kind of holds it down just to get all this dust for the last couple days off this thing. I did notice I'm gonna have to start making some little drain holes on this bed because of how it sits now, with a little bit lowered in the back. But check this out, guys. Thing's looking nice. Cleaned up the wheel a little bit, kind of wiped it down just with water, just to get the dust off of it. But man, just about time to get the doors put back on, start checking stuff off the list. Exhaust is on, we'll call that good. I have the wires to the tail lights ran all the way to the back. Got a brand new set of tail lights. So tomorrow I'll get these guys out of here. Don't know if they work. If they do, they're just old and ugly. So the new ones, got some nice LED ones will go in here. We'll wire those up. I think I'll wire that up. And I'll try to find a little light bar that'll fit on here somewhere on Amazon. Get that on. Got new lights for here. Most of them are broken. That's where all the rust came in, I bet you. Going in through here, going down, and just living down there. I still haven't got the steering wheel off. I need to get the steering wheel off and get this plugged in. What else? Oh, we need to dye the seat, get the seat put back in, sorry. What else? Our new radiator support is in, so we will get that put on probably tomorrow. Gilbert's a little sick, so he's got to step out for probably a few days while he gets everything situated. We got plenty to do, so I'll keep on moving. Let's see if I get the seat out of there. We'll dye that, see how it looks. If it looks like crap, then Mexican blanket on top it is. Trying to think. We need to figure out the fuel situation. The fuel situation is either put our old tank back in, our behind the seat tank, and then run a inline filter for the LS system. Woo-wee. Looking fresh. But we'll get an inline system for that. But Gilbert is talking about trying to find one that'll fit in here and utilize the space in here. Try to find an old semi tank and have it chopped down and run it in here. We don't have any room behind the bed because the frame has been cut. You guys can notice this thing is really short back here. I think it's like 10 inches that was cut off the back of the frame. Well, actually it's cut all the way up to the leaf spring. The leaf spring mounting location, it's cut off right there. That's why this thing looks cool. Looks so crazy because it's a long bed and like a short bed body. It's not very long at all, but the wheelbase is still a long bed. So this thing looks super crazy. We don't have any room back here for a gas tank. We're thinking of maybe finding something that'll fit behind here. But he was saying that he actually has a tank that would fit, but it's too big, too long. If we can get it to be cut and put in here, and I'm saying we can get it because it's an aluminum tank, and I unfortunately have not welded aluminum before. If it was like a stainless steel tank or something, I would have said bring it over and let's get it done. Aluminum, definitely don't want to practice aluminum on a gas tank on a vehicle that I'm going to be driving. I'd rather have that thing dialed in and nice, or find another solution for our fuel. We need to cover these holes still. Gilbert got me some diamond plate. The pattern is close enough, so throw that in there. We'll cover that. We're getting close, guys. I mean, check it out. From when we started to where we're at, I mean, this thing is looking super cool. So that's it for now, guys, and until next time, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bloom, 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 bloom.
Square body builders, that's the name. Fueling passion, igniting flame. Backyard hustle, grinding hard, turning rust into works of art.